RH Jam, we explore energy healing, how it works, and how we may be interfering with our own healing experience. And to help us understand this a little bit better, Cecilia Samms, who is a Reconnective Healing Associate Instructor and former Reiki Master, is joining us to discuss this a little bit. She'll be with us briefly in just a moment. Another thing I want to share with you is that we will have an exclusive video from our Prague Catalyst program in which you will be able to experience and feel perhaps the frequencies with us. Thank you so much, and it's coming up in the RH Jam. Well, hi again. If this is your first time joining us, I am Anna Clavel, and this is the RH Jam, and we are a weekly program in which we explore for about 30 minutes topics that are important to you and are important to us, and everything and anything that has to do with reconnective healing. If this is the first time you hear about reconnective healing, it is an energy-based approach to healing and transformation. And our goal with this program is not only that you discover for yourself what reconnective healing is for you, could be for you, but also that you find answers that you may be seeking in order to effect the changes that you need in your life. And without further ado, let's dive into that subject for today. What is energy healing? So, energy healing. It's something that I have to let you know, guys, and I will confess that the first time I heard about this, I thought it had to do with electricity. Before reconnective healing found me, I was pretty much not a seeker. I was a writer, and as a writer of fiction, I knew pretty well plenty of folk stories about how magical powers could transform people, how spells were used, and I incorporated that type of thing in my writing, but I never, as Anna, thought that these things were actually real to the extent that they really, really are. And I think that a lot of people, when they first hear about energy healing, they may not make that immediate connection between something that is everywhere and it's so accessible to all of us, and the things that we've heard as stories or things that happen to other people. And for me, that was my first point of encounter. As I allowed myself to discover a little bit more about what it is, particularly reconnective healing, it opened me to a very expansive understanding of not only our ability to heal as human beings, but also the possibilities that are out there that we may not be aware of. Energy healing in general, I want to share with you a beautiful slideshow that the team created for me. Thank you, Madison Holland, and thank you, Taylor Holland. I want to share these with you because they are just very powerful images. The first one we see the hands, and it's something that if you have done a little bit of your own seeking, the use of the hands, the imposition of hands as a healing tool has been very prevalent in the history of humanity as we've evolved the relationship with healing and connecting with these energies that are around us to effect a change in us and in those around us. And I want to share you another one here that is very pretty. Hang on. Here we go. The hands again. One of the things that are, for me, the biggest discovery in the energy healing world is when you ask, does energy healing works? Maybe what we are asking is, can it fix me? Or can it fix something? So how is that healing? And here's one of the first things that I personally had to give it a little bit of thought, and then after that had to let go of expectations and preconceived notions about healing, because in our contemporary society, we've made a synonym of healing with curing and fixing. Now, while fixing is like a focused attempt to change something that we perceive as broken, as needing change, immediate change to get us from state A to state B. Healing is wholeness of of several stages and layers of change that happen, so that the A to B is actually a far more complete experience. And when we talk about this concept about, well, does it work, or what we really mean is that can it fix what I have, we are then ignoring the whole picture that we are, the whole potential that we truly are. And when it comes to energy healing, it's a very important key that I've come to understand, because when you're working with energy, unless it is used in a modality in which you're expected to channel something through you and direct it in a certain way, at least when it comes to reconnective healing, you're actually just allowing the universe to provide for these whole experience that healing is. So we may be interfering with that experience when we fall again into the thinking that what is it that I need fixed, or what is it that I want fixed. And the other thing that also personally, and I'm going to share this with you, coming from my the background that I come from, the concept that healing belongs just to a few people, and perhaps only a few people can be healed or need to be healed or even can become healers. But we're going to talk about that with Cecilia when she's ready to join us, okay? So here's one last picture I wanted to share with you. It's like, who deserves healing? It's another thing, you know. Have we perhaps at some point equated the healing that we see, the miraculous healing, with somebody being deserving of it or not? To me personally, that was also something I had to sit back, take a moment, and examine in myself, because that falls back into expectations. Are we telling the universe who needs to be healed and who doesn't, in some sort of inner conversation that we have when we look around and we see this miracles happening every day, or perhaps the lack of a miracle in our own life? How does that interfere with our understanding of this flow of energy around us? So just energy healing has a long history here in our planet, in our human evolution. At every single stage, we have uncovered ways to communicate with the energy around us, with the field, as we call it today, right? We call it the field, this field of information. And it has given birth to several modalities that to this day remain beautiful points of interaction with these mysterious forces that form everything and everyone who are here on the planet, and in this dimension, and as far as we know, in all other dimensions, right? And some of them include Reiki and Qigong and Jurei. And again, Cecilia's going to tell us a little bit more about it. In the meantime, I really would like to remind you that if you like this video, I invite you to subscribe, to like the video, so you always know when we're going to be online. And that way you won't miss anything we have to say about these awesome, awesome subjects. And please chat with us. Let's see who's here. We have Lexi. We have Resource from Barcelona. Alejandro is saying hello. Who else is on board? Tell me. Let me know. What do you think about energy healing? What has been your experience of it? It's important we share these things, because in this sharing we all grow. I grow. You inspire me ideas and thoughts, and I hope that I can provide the same for you. So let's then take a look at that beautiful Feeling the Frequencies video from Prague, because it truly is something else. As you know, we just completed the most amazing Catalyst in Prague last weekend. 6 languages. It could have been the Tower of Babel instead, as Jillian Fleer was confiding in me yesterday. It was a beautiful orchestration via the frequencies of Reconnective Healing, in which people actually ended up being able to understand one another without the need of a translator there being all the time, as was their experience at the very end of the program when everybody gathered in an impromptu get together, and they realized that they could talk in a way that there's no precedent. There's no precedent in their lives, and as I discovered with Reconnective Healing, there's no precedent also in the history of how we humans developed our ability to communicate via language. But let me show you this video. It is a beautiful, sublime moment in which Eric and Jillian are teaching the students precisely how to feel for the frequencies. As I was watching it, I actually had tangible sensations. So let me know if you experience anything as you watch it. Here we go.
Don't want to move your hands, hold them still. Allow your receivership to simply inspire this intelligence to seek your client. You are a Bluetooth. Just use your eyes. Just use one hand.
And that was a magical cameo from Dr. Eric Pearl himself waving at us. So I hope you heard how Jillian referred to this as receiving, which is a theme we discussed last week, and also to an intelligence that comes to it. And I hope when we have Miss Jillian Fleer next week here on the program, we'll get to hear a little bit more about it. But we left the conversation on the topic of who can be a healer. Now, seriously, look at this guy. Look at this guy, right? I'm going to make this bigger so you see what I mean. Look at this guy. Is it coming up for you over there? Let me see if I can make it bigger. Look at that guy. Can he be a healer? Geez, can I be a healer? Well, I know I am a healer. Let's ask Cecilia Samms, because this woman has lived it all. She's been a seeker. She's found, as you two would have it, what she was looking for. So let's welcome Cecilia. Hi, Cecilia. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Welcome to the RH Jam.
Thanks for having me.
I know this is a topic that is super important to you, because I know, I read your amazing blog, by the way. That was amazing. You found Reiki, and then Reconnective Healing found you. Tell me a little bit more about this journey.
Wow. It was so profound, this whole experience. I've known since I was a child. Like, you spoke about how you learned about spells and all kinds of folklore to talk about people accessing changes in their lives in the world, and I had that as well in my own way. I was raised Catholic. I sought after many different spiritual paths. I heard the stories of healing. I knew they were possible. I accepted that they were possible. I knew that each of us had this capacity within us to access healing in realms and shifts in realms that were not spoken about in everyday life. They were spoken about in stories and folklore in hundreds of years ago. And then on my path, I had found this wonderful book, one of my favorite books, The Autobiography of a Yogi. And This was present day. This was somebody who was accessing works of miracles in his daily life. And it transformed me, and I thought to seek more. And so that's what led me to find out more about what's possible and how is it possible and how is everybody able to access this. And so meditation came in, and those groups introduced me to, you got to try this, you got to try that. And so there's where Reiki came in, and that's how it started, because I already knew and I already accepted it. I just needed to know how. I needed a guidebook. I needed something to show me. And so that's when I joined the path in Reiki, and I became a Reiki master, and I started to play with it. And yes, things were showing up for me, and it was beautiful. But once I knew I was going about it too much. I mean, I was going about it with too many rules and things that I had to do to make it happen. That's when my inner self said, hey, wait a minute. I had the knot in the pit of my stomach that said, something's off. So I asked, and I felt it's bigger, it's easier, it's more. And that's when I was open to finding the book, The Reconnection, Heal Others, Heal Yourself. And that's when everything in my life changed, because he said, let go of all the rules. He said, you don't need the candles, the flowers, the da 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 da. And I was ready to let go of it all, because in all the teachings that I learned growing up, they didn't do all those things. And so I was ready to let it go also. And that's when life shifted so profoundly. You've got to be really willing to let it go.
It's not hard though. I mean, that part of letting go that you mentioned, um, when when you are in a situation in which you feel that there are no solutions, like we spoke about in 2 episodes ago, getting stuck in some way of thinking, of some way that things need to be, it's difficult to then say that letting go is actually the solution that you're looking for, because you're not getting that expectation right of what needs to happen. We may be clipping our own wings, so to speak, of what really could be happening for us. How has that happened for you?
How has that happened for me about letting go?
Yes.
Ah, well, it it was a challenge at first, because when I was doing Reiki, when I was in that community, truly it was a community. Truly it was this group of people gathering together to do these things. And so when I said I needed to let it go, I really did have to speak about my truth, speak about what I knew now, what I know now, um, and allow the people in my life to ask questions, to know more, or to walk away. I needed to allow that to happen, because I couldn't change them. I can't make them believe one thing or another. I needed to be able to let them go on their own path and continue on whatever it is they're doing, and allow myself to know my truth and to follow my new path, my new heart, my new openness. And it allowed for so much more. My world became bigger. It didn't become smaller because of the people leaving. It became bigger. And I know I have such a much larger community now, but it's not that the size of the community, it's feeling supported in it. It's knowing my truth and hearing the truth in the conversations of the people that are now in my realm. I love being in the truth, in the joy, in the knowing, and hearing everybody else living it as well. That's what energizes me so much. Being at the training programs is so powerful, because you get to see the lights going up, on, all over the room. The light bulbs are going off. Everybody's lighting up. It's like, I get it. I know, I know. And so that's the beauty of it all. It's not letting go to get rid of things. It's letting go to allow more things.
I love that. And I love how you brought out the struggle that one feels perhaps in the beginning when suddenly people who have been part of your circle for so many years, they may not be as acceptance or ready to see what your experience is, and having to let them go is part of that journey, perhaps. Uh, did you discover, though, along the way, as I have as well, as I've observed, that the people who seem to just maybe at that point not resonate, a lot of them eventually do suddenly out of the blue, boom, there is a text, there is a call, there is an email message. So it's like, I know we haven't spoken in years, but can I do this too? Can I be a healer too? Cecilia, I know we know the answer, but let's discuss this for a second. Who can be a healer?
Everybody, absolutely everybody. And yes, I've had that as well. People coming back from years gone by, months gone by, weeks gone by. I mentioned it, and all of a sudden they want to know more, or they're drawn to me for whatever reason. I just all of a sudden found you on the directory, and people showing up, and they're asking about healings for themselves. And always, I share with them, you can do this. You can do this also. Everybody has the capacity to access this in their lives. And so we'll speak about it, we'll share, they'll come in for a session possibly, and also um, they'll recognize themselves in this work. They'll recognize the knowingness that feels so right, that is them. They they open up to their own truth. And that's the beauty of it. Everybody can be a healer because it is truly who they are. And when you look in the mirror and you see that and you feel that and you know that, that's the freedom. Everybody, children, you don't have to have degrees, or you don't have to have so many years of meditation. You just have to allow and be inquisitive about it, because children's like, oh, what's that? Oh, what's that? And they begin to play. And it's like, oh, and they know. They just want to know more. And so it's about opening our world, not closing it off.
And you mentioned children, that is so absolutely true. And I had the great privilege, people, of seeing Cecilia at our first Ignite back in April, teaching a beautiful 2 hour workshop on reconnected healing in kids. It was magical. Their transformation, their discovery, the authenticity of that experience. There is nothing stopping them that prevents them from being there in the moment and saying, "Oh, this is awesome. What is it that I'm feeling?" And staying with it. I think it's us as adults that we go like through the like you do something, you experience it, and you go, "Oh, this is awesome," and then you go, "Wait a minute, should I be experiencing this? How good is this for me? Is this safe? Oh, would somebody approve? Oh my gosh, what is my neighbor going to think about this?" We do that, and kids
Right.
don't do that. You're doing
Right.
this master class again. Well, actually, it's more like a workshop class. It's not like a master class, but you're doing it again this December, right?
Yes, absolutely. We're going to bring reconnective healing with kids back to Ignite in Palm Springs, and we're going to play. And it's just so beautiful to see the children, the truths come out of their mouths, and and their expression in their eyes when they light up, and it's just so beautiful and magical. Yes, we're bringing kids back.
Is it going to be open to all local kids? How do you think that's going to work? When do you think we'll have information about it?
Well, we're seeking it now. So if you know kids in the Palm Springs area that are going to be available on that weekend, December 6th, 7th, 8th, on the 8th, the Sunday, is when we're going to be offering the kids class. So if you know kids in that area, between 8 and 12 is a great age range. Imagine if you knew about this work when you were 8 and 12. It's just, it would shift your life completely. You would have this access and knowing of what's possible, and that you can transform your life. You can allow yourself to be more calm, to be more confident, to be more present in your life, in any situation. And if it's uncomfortable, you know how to bring yourself back to a place of feeling in balance. Just life transforming. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
And you're teaching, because Cecilia, again, she's one of our instructors, and that she's teaching what is called the Reconnection Certified Practitioners Program as well, We call it the evolution internally, but this is like, it used to be the level 3. And for those of you who are on that path, that you want that full on permanent connection, reconnecting with the energy of the universe, the lines that connect everything, not only out there inside, but also with the planet. This is a class for you. I have to let you know though, guys, you must have been through level 1 and level 2. But Cecilia, you're teaching this class soon as
Yes.
well, right?
Yes. I have one scheduled in January in Los Angeles. Very excited about that. It's really so dear to my heart.
And we'll have
Yes.
all the information in the description, so you just click on the button and you can find out more. In the meantime, I see a few comments here, Cecilia, coming in for us and for your staying. I'm going to share with you with the screen. Don't go anywhere. I'm just going to share real quick.
I'm right here.
Right here, I see beautiful messages here from Dagmar, Maria, Simonera. Cecilia is so wonderful, so clear, with burning fire inside. Thank you, Dagmar. Serendipities and synchronicities. Jennifer, she says, beautiful Cecilia, you're such an inspiration. Lexi adds, you're never alone. We're always here for you. Beautiful stuff. Guys, thank you so much for all your amazing comments. We love them. Keep them coming. Cecilia, we are short on time now. Anything else that you'd like to add to our topic?
Oh, if you have been through the programs and you want to come back, come to Ignite. We're going to have such an amazing time. There's so many programs that are going to be offering. The whole weekend is going to be filled. And we're going to have guest speakers. We're going to have a party on the Saturday night. Please come and join us. It's going to be great. And if you haven't stepped into this work yet, come to the Catalyst. Come to our one experience and be present for the magic to light up in your life. It's real. You'll get to know your superpower.
That's right. You'll get to know that superpower. And like I said before, all of these links I've put in the description below. So go ahead and explore. Cecilia, you are awesome. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I hope we'll have you back. Maybe we can do a live one from Ignite itself, and we can catch you in action with kids. If you guys out there would like to see Cecilia doing that, just let us know. Drop us an email or drop us a comment right here in our chat, okay? Thank you, Cecilia.
Thank you. Bye.
So, what are the few things that can be our takeaways for today? Well, I think they are fairly simple, yet perhaps not the easiest to wrap ourselves around at first glance. And it's understandable. This may be your first moments into seeing that there's a different way to think about healing and curing and fixing, and about your experience of energy healing, because any energy healing experience is transformative. In no way can anybody say that, Qigong is better than Reiki, it's better than Reconnective Healing, it's better than this and that. Everything has its beauty and value. What I have discovered is that Reconnective Healing, though, is the whole healing. It is more. By virtue that it is something that the practitioner, the healer, the person who is facilitating, is not a conduit. It's not channeling or sending anything. And we talked about the receivership, right? And sending. We don't do that. It's more like we are catalysts. We just allow for that connection between the person and the universe itself to take place. So here are your takeaways. 5 simple takeaways. Healing is not fixing. Healing is much more than that. It's more layered. It typically will change all the little bits and pieces that contribute to your entire well-being, not just where you like to focus the fixing of. So it's not the same thing. Your self-worth does not affect your healing, the healing that you need. There is no correlation, at least definitely not with Reconnective Healing, in which your sense of what you deserve or don't deserve means that you're going to receive a bigger, less, better, red, blue, pink type of healing. It is the healing that you need no matter what. Everyone as Cecilia said, is a natural healer. So maybe finally in the 21st century, we can all agree that we're all equally valuable, all equally able, and all equally wired to receive this superpower, to be part of this reconnective healing energy field. We know we have the field. Sometimes I'm gonna go out here on a limb. Sometimes it feels the energy field that's generated at reconnective healing is just such a comfortable space. It becomes such a space of instant communication with whomever is there, whether it's the person that you're facilitating for, or just feeling the frequencies in a room is just a beautiful experience. I invite you to try it out for yourself. Let go of what your healing expectations are, no matter what it is. Even if it's an aspirin that you're taking, even if you are going for, I don't know, a tooth cleaning, a teeth cleaning, let go of the expectations and be there present, fully present for that healing experience. So trust the universe knows what you need, whatever that may be. So you feel maybe there be some drilling at a molar. Well, if that's what the universe feels that you need, then it's perhaps the more whole way to receive the experience of healing by allowing the universe to take care of you, as opposed to what we often do, try to tell the universe what we want when it already knows what we need. We interrupt ourselves. And last but not least, allow yourself to receive the healing the universe has in store for you. It definitely has something for you and is just for you. And it's a matter of us allowing ourselves to receive it, allowing ourselves to listen to it. But guys, we are practically seconds away from being completely out of time. So here comes the cool little graphic. Here it goes. And yes, we've reached our last screen for the program. And I want to thank my entire team, but specifically I want to thank Cecilia Samms for joining us today. I want to thank all the amazing people in Prague for all the beautiful contributions they sent us, the entire Reconnection team. And right here, you have a link, you have a visual, and I put it in the description to get your free audio narration by Dr. Eric Pearl himself. Now, if you want to see more of those beautiful images that Madison Taylor put together for me every week, you gotta follow us on Instagram, on Facebook, and on Twitter, and then you'll get to see firsthand their beautiful stories on IGTV as well. We'll be back here next week, like I said, with Jillian Fleer herself. So until then, ciao.